Okay, so I mean, was the album yet out? I mean, I
No,
mean, with
no, the album was not yet out.
you only had the master plan out.
Nope. Only like snippets. That album was never officially released until it will be released now in January of this year on my label.
So all that time, all those years, nothing came out.
Nope. Only Master Plan the single. No look in the water, no nothing. Yeah, it's crazy because yeah, it's just nothing. So I was able to get all of the, I mean, it reverted back to me after a certain amount of time anyway, contractually, a lot of it. So, but it was just like now I said, well, when I looked at the project, man, and so many people all over the world like hitting me, London, Germany, all these different countries are still in love because it came out with like a what you call that? A pre-release. So just off of that alone, they've been going crazy for years still, bro. And we're talking, 20, how many ever years later? So it's
Mm.
like, I said, let me collect this and put it out. I'll let them hear some stuff that people have never heard before. Records like that me and Chad did that I think, and two, it just helps with my indie projects that I'm doing to show people who I am. Cause a lot of people like still even now, as I put those things out with Master Plan, they're like, that's the guy from that. I still love that song.
Mm.
So it's just crazy, man. But no, nothing ever came out from that project, man. It's amazing to think that that album was never released.
No, what's it like then as an artist when you've worked hard, and it's been all these years? I mean, the first hurdle with Interscope falls through, and now you've got a second chance with Capitol, and just when it's supposed to come out, it falls apart. What's that like going through that?
It's, I mean, it's hard, but at the same time, I think for me because I started out at 16, so young, and I had gotten so used to the way the industry moved. It wasn't. It's like once you get used to how the industry works, you don't even. It doesn't affect you the same way. And as an
Oh, what
artist,
do you mean? What do you mean?
I mean, it doesn't disappoint you as much,
Wow.
like when certain things happen, because you understand that it's a machine. As you know, things were very different in that time frame for the music industry when
Mm.
that happened for me with Capitol and all of that, because it's not like it is now where you can just put your music out and everything is digital. You still were buying CDs.
Mm.
So now, the machine had so much control back then. And they had the ability to stop an artist, start or stop an artist. So it was either you go with the machine or you're not gonna do anything. So for me, it was like I stood on my convictions. I believed in what I had enough to where, and I will never forget because I was in a limousine when I had the epiphany in LA. Like, man, I would rather not do it if I can't do it my way.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying? Why would you want to be a fraud and a phony and not be able to be you? I'd rather walk away from that. And here I am 20 years later, and God honored that because my thing was I wanted to bring my faith into my music.
Okay.
And Capitol didn't want that at all. Like they were like, you do that, we don't want to do. So my thing was, I'm gonna do what I want to do. And I just stood on that, man. And I still and I'm still standing on it. And it's still look, I'm happy that I did it because guess what? Now I'm able to still put this record out the way that I want to. And actually and use it as a platform for the rest of what I've been doing and what I am doing, like records like Breakthrough and all the other stuff that I'm doing.
That at that point in time, when you're signed to a label, it feels as if it's like a unique type of job. Most people, most of us could lose our job and go find another job. As a recording artist, if you get dropped and not released, does that not feel as if I've worked so hard to get here? What's next?
Well, like I said, man, I guess it just depends on what you want out of life.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because the music industry, man, listen,
Hmm.
I know so many people that I mean, I don't know to be. It's very few. that have a great story. But again, can you make the money out of it? You know what I'm saying? See, for me, listen, the way I am right now in the music industry, and what I can look back and say, man, some people may never even experience that or get the opportunity to, man. The most they may get now is just some Instagram fame.
So when you're going through that whole process, because you're going from different label situations in between, trying to put your product out, they're not connecting with you, and then you're moving on and you're waiting for the next project to come around. On the creative side, obviously, you never stop making music. So how were you able to sustain yourself in between those windows for the next thing to come around the corner?
You mean what, financially?
Just as far as just in terms of just making a living, because people sometimes have a misconception that once you're in the industry and the money's always going to be there and you're able to kind of maintain. And remember, you've been doing this since you were 16.
Yeah.
So that's your life. So unlike somebody else who's 16 years old, you're talking about now to step outside that recording on industry matrix and try to go into the I won't say the real world, but the world. So how are you able to kind of like stay afloat in those periods?
Well, to be honest, you do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I always been like around street people. You know what I'm saying? Like just period. Anyway, that's what kind of like who I was as far as who I gravitated towards. So when I'm gonna be honest, when I came home from New York, because I was in New York for a long time. When I came home, I immediately got in the streets. Immediately. Like I immediately got, and I already knew all the people, my friends, that's what they did. So it wasn't nothing for me to just, and I already had known it because I never was in it deep. I was in it before, but I wasn't in it as deep because I had the music. So I was the person that was like, like, don't go too far because he's the, I was the guy who had this industry thing. But then when I came home, that was what I had. So that's how I survived for a minute, was just straight in the streets, bro. So that's how, you know what I mean? Until I had an experience there, and then everything shifted. And I avoided doing jail time, though. I didn't end up having to do none. I did everything on house arrest for like just 1 year, though. But it was just such a life-changing experience. That's when I said, man, and that's when the music even became more important, because the inspiration behind it now had to have a message. Because now I understood that I needed to teach, especially the next generation. That's why it's called G Next Life. And a lot of people don't know that about me, but they're gonna know, because the new music is gonna tell the rest of the story of Mike E. Beyond the, like you said, the industry and the pretty stuff and just the Neptunes and all that. But what happened after that? The way I could still stand here now. And then, I still ended up having a record on the Hidden Figures soundtrack with Pharrell after that.
Oh, I ended up getting... Around this time...
Go ahead.
Hey, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. If you love what you watched, there's over 100 artists that we've interviewed. So please check out the videos. Remember to like, share, and not unsubscribe. But better still, become a member of Halftime Chat and get exclusive videos ahead of time. But thanks for watching. Take care.